So there are a lot of causes to put things into effect, and you are one of the causes. So you help to make that happen. And yeah, talking about making things happen, we have the senior day coming up, where there's 1,000 senior citizens, senior people will be coming to enjoy our free lunch with gifts. We have donations from organizations that give gifts to these senior people. Almost every year, a major percentage of the senior people are Chinese. And I like to see others, Caucasians. Why don't you bring them to the notice? Bring them here. Go to nursing homes and bring these senior people, and because they will be singing there too, and they will be singing old-timers like Frank Sinatra, Elvis Presley, the Platters. These are the old songs they like. So why don't you bring them to enjoy music in here and enjoy the free lunch with some gifts? You can make things happen, you know. Talking about doing charitable projects, make them happy and organize something for them, bring them here. Don't just call them and say, hey, go to the temple, and they have a ticket for you. They won't come. Why don't you make it a point that bring them come? And also, when you come in, did you see the 2 rows of tents that we put on the side of the boulevard that we have on the front square? We are planning to set up a gathering in front of the temple. A gathering where we have complimentary books, complimentary CDs on chanting, and we also have complimentary tea, but we also have gifts of rosaries. We also have rosaries that we sell. We also have fruit juice that we sell, and all donations come from that kind of gathering, like a flea market, actually. There's a lot of gifts and eating and drinking. And we'll go to support the building of our Zen Center on Bowen Island. So talking about, we need money to build a house at Bowen Island, to build the Zen Center. We just want to organize a social gathering for everybody. In the process of being a volunteer there, you also mix with people. You can also introduce people to the Buddhist teaching, because there are free English books too. And there are a lot of Caucasians who come to the temple for visiting, and sometimes you want to know, what is Buddhism? What have you got in here? What meditation? You can always serve as a guidance to tell them. That's every Saturday, and starting from next week, hopefully, because we're organizing it, starting from on Saturday and Sunday. And also, there are the people of different nations. If you're a Thai, because the Thai people, you can talk in the Thai language. If you're from the Philippines, you can talk in the Philippine language for people. Vietnam, all kinds of people coming. Okay, let's answer the first question. Can discrimination be good? Is this a way one can learn to do or be better? When we say no discrimination, it does not mean that we don't discriminate. This is red, this is orange, this is white. We still discriminate. But we discriminate not with an intent of bias, an intent of despising people or misjudging people. We still have to discriminate. This person talks in such a way that he may be dangerous. Then, oh, I have to watch out. You have to discriminate that. I don't care. This guy talks in such a way that is abnormal. Maybe he's going to produce a gun and shoot everybody down. Then if I know, then I want everybody. You have to discriminate. And this guy come and he is using a screwdriver to poke into our donation box right in the open. And oh no, I shouldn't discriminate. Let them do what they want. I shouldn't discriminate. Is that right? You really have to discriminate, but you discriminate not with a bias. Here comes a person, and you think that, oh, I've seen that person in a movie, and that person's feature is as bad as this guy, so this guy must be a bad guy. then you are using your bias. Actually, it turns out to be a kind and benevolent guy. But you're using your bias to misjudge people. That's not the kind of discrimination that you have. But you still have to discriminate and analyze. You still have to use your judgment. Hopefully you don't use the wrong judgment. You have to learn how to use a good judgment. You still should discriminate. If you don't discriminate, how can you do better? If somebody have done a job, if there's 2 volunteers doing a job, both of them are your friends, and one have done it with 100% satisfaction, and the other has done it with a 50% satisfaction. And for the sake of no discrimination, you say, Reverend told me there's no discrimination. You say, both of you are good. But if this guy has done a bad job, you really have to tell him and learn about it. Well, what you have done is okay. As a volunteer, we really appreciate it. But here, you break this. I mean, it's not right to break this. I just want to tell you because next time we can do better. I have no bias discrimination against you. I just want everybody to improve. You need discrimination. If you have a lack of discrimination, you're like a fool, I mean, literally speaking. You have to have discrimination. Next question. If alaya consciousness comes from files from previous lives, why don't we remember anything from previous life? That's the kind of question that I asked before. In your subconsciousness, you have the images of past life. Because you have archive files, as we talk about. How come we couldn't remember anything from previous life? And this question, I remember I used half an hour to answer. But let me just summarize it because there's a lot more to do after this session. You talk about you can't remember your previous life. Can you remember things that happened 30 years ago? Maybe vaguely. Do you remember anything that happened to you when you were 2 years old? Anybody who still remember what happened to you when you were 2 years old, raise your hand. Nobody. However, there are people who really could remember from past life. Because in their past life, they have shoveled the file cabinet and they put that file to the forefront. And they still have idea of what happened in that file. And then we give just an example. Recently, there was a Norway talented prodigy, and you were born in Norway. She went into a competition and she sang jazz, and she won. Everybody got so surprised that a young girl of 7 was able to sing so well in jazz, so analogous to Billie Holiday's jazz style, and so close to Anita O'Day's style. And interestingly, one of the viewers dig into old files of human history, and he figured out this girl was born 7 years ago, and I want to find out who died 7 years ago. What jazz singers died 7 years ago? And they continued to dig and dig and dig, and then they found one singer who died on the same year as this girl was born in Norway. And this singer was in America. And the name of this singer is Anita O'Day. And she sang many, many songs, jazz songs, like Fly Me to the Moon. Because she remembered. In some rare cases, some children remember from previous life. They didn't learn, they just remember from previous life. Next question. No question, it says. I just wanted to express my gratitude and sincere thanks for all the teachings. Your presence in this temple is a gift to all of us and the community we live in. Thank you very much. We still want to do some more. I always dream of building a Sangha community in here. A Sangha community where there are a lot of monks who actually specialize in the teaching, and we call it the Buddhist Academy. And then this Sangha order of nuns will have a congregation of 30 to 50, and they go around all North America teaching the Buddhist teaching. And all North Americans will be benefited by it. Because the Buddha said, many ancient monks said, Buddhism is going to spread from the east back to the west. So Canada, North America, it will benefit a lot of people. We always start with a dream. I started with a dream to build this temple 30 years ago. This temple was sitting on a piece of dirt 30 years ago when I first started it. And I've gone through a lot of storms and thick and thins, and I can write books about it. A lot of difficulties. I started from half an acre of land. That half an acre was now what you're sitting on. And then we slowly develop, getting a lot of people's help, getting a lot of repulsive comments, a lot of criticism, a lot of denial, at the same time a lot of jealousy. But in spite of these storms, we went through it. And a lot of people came and go. A lot of volunteers came and go. 95% of those who started with me, I saw them upstairs, they were gone. Maybe about 5% left. They were old-timers, they were gone already. Right now, I'm the only guy left, seems to be. But all these new people. So, we want a dream to carry on. We haven't finished the dream. So are you willing to participate in that dream? You are actually. Some passively, some actively, some with more efforts than the others. But all the efforts that you contributed will be in your file. It's in nobody else's files. It's in your file. What kind of files you want to build up? Every thought counts. Every step counts. Okay, thank you very much. Let's carry on. A lot of our society has been tyrant of the topic, so I hope you can keep an open mind to this topic. There are big research and beliefs that consuming psychedelic things, such as magic mushrooms and ginseng, it opens the spiritual world. Has Buddhists talked about these nutrients as a practice and not addiction for meditation? We know that mushrooms, sometimes some mushrooms have medicinal value. They have value in medicine. And some ginseng also have medicine values. But don't fall into the trap. There are people talking about methods for lucid dreaming to meditate and know more about our subconscious mind and all that and all that. Last year, I have two ladies coming up to me in Hong Kong, Chinese, one elderly and one young. And the elderly told me, they're both sitting in front of me and they really are very interested in what they're saying. And both of them told me, I went to a session of illumination in a certain country. I said, we were illuminated. We were so enlightened. Well, what kind? What's that? What's that illumination? What method? They call it explosive nirvana. Well, I never heard of explosive nirvana. What did they do? Well, they also do meditation. But what they did is they put a CD in the musical instrument, and the musical instrument is so loud. It's like the music is like what? It's like production in a factory. Ding ding dum dum ding ding dum dum ding ding dum dum. You know, it's like the machine non-stop running and running with assembly line, with explosive, and they call it explosive nirvana. So when we first started out, we want to vomit because it's so noisy, so loud, so noisy that we couldn't stand it. But the instructor said, that's it. That's to explode all your bad karma away. So I was vomiting first, but then slowly I get used to it. I tend to like it. And he called it explosive nirvana. And they use explosive to blow up your impurified karma so that what's left is the alive consciousness of lucid consciousness. There's so many things out in the market ready there to gain your money. Huh?
There's a game, online game,
Yeah.
that the authors claims by playing that game you get to life.
Oh yes, that's that right? Yeah. So if it's so easy, everybody will become the Buddha. Lucid dreaming. Well, I guess you've been a dreamer, same as I. So why don't we all wake up? So don't believe in explosive nirvana. For that reason, I don't know if you should believe in lucid dreaming. Next question. Venerable, please provide an example of the process of Vipassana meditation. Vipassana meditation is like, just to give an example, say, I'm meditating. I'm meditating on emptiness. Everything is fleeting. Everything is impermanent. So I should not attach to things. If there's something come up that infuriate me, I don't want to be infuriated. I want to be objective as possible. It's very infuriating. It's criticizing me. It's downgrading me. It's belittling me. I won't be carried away by that feeling. That's Vipassana meditation. Please explain the meaning of the word mantra, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om is write it down. Om is the mother of all sound. Mani is the most precious jewel, which means that the Buddha nature in you. Padme is lotus flower, which means that you have purification, notice for purity. Purify yourself. Home is, once you have done that, you'll be bringing home. You'll be going home to Buddhi. You'll bring home to Nirvana. So you need to practice it.